Hello guys. Welcome to the brand new video. Today, I'm gonna show how you can draw and design a cars. This tutorial is for beginners. I will teach you this from basic. I'm gonna show you, so let's go for the tutorial. First, let's start with the simple view. Front view and rear view. These two views have similar methods for drawing. As you can see in the picture, we place the front of the car, which forms the headlights and details of the front of the car, inside a rectangular part. This makes drawing easier for us. Also draw a line in the middle of the rectangle to draw the car headlights in perfect symmetry. To always be able to draw symmetry, all you have to do is measure the length of a light up to the line of symmetry, and draw the other side the same size. Always remember that the car headlights start from the top corner of this rectangle and are attached to it, just like what I draw. Then it comes to the details ahead. Note that the details do not have a specific method to do, except for special cases that I will teach you in later sections. But the details are now easier for you thanks to the rectangle, and note that practice is very important in this area. Now it's time for the top of the car, where the hood of the car reaches the glass. The taller and more vertical this part is, the height of the car hood also gets taller, like a van or a truck. The cabin is the easiest part of the job. You just have to make the drawing easier for yourself using geometric shapes like the video. Now it's time for the exterior parts to be drawn for the car you want to design. This part is different from car to car. And finally, the details. Side view. To draw this part, you need a compass and a ruler to do your job accurately and precisely. But if you do not have these tools, it does not matter. You must first select a part to draw one of the wheels. This is the best way to draw wheels. The horizontal line I draw is very important. The horizontal line I draw is very important. The compass must be on this line to draw the wheels and the circle. Typically, a typical car has 3 to 3.5 circle wheelbases between its wheels, but this is not the same for all cars. You need to practice to draw this part accurately. Once complete, you can then draw a larger wheel. Then we have to divide the car into 9 vertical parts. It can be divided into 3 parts, but 9 parts is much better and easier for beginners. The first part or the first line is drawing exactly in front of the car, just like the picture. The second line is drawing exactly behind the lights. This means that the car lights are always drawing between lines 1 and 2. Line number 3 is draw right where the hood is attached to the windshield. Line 4 is drawn exactly where the windshield connects to the roof of the car. The fifth line shows the highest part of the car. The sixth line is where the rear window of the car collides with the roof of the car. The seventh line is where the rear window of the car collides with the trunk of the car. In hatchbacks and other different cars, there is a slight difference between these divisions, which you can see in other parts of this tutorial. And at the end, lines 8 and 9 looks like lines 1 and 2. The only difference is in the front and back of the car. The car's tail lights are also drawn between the two. The 8th line is connected to the rear headlights and the 9th line is at the end of the car. Finally, you need to draw the details of the car you are designing. As I said, only way to drawing the details is practice, and there is no magic way to do it. And about rims, there are simpler ways to pull the car rim that you will see in other parts of this tutorial. I will give another example to better understand you, but, with the difference that I have chosen a harder sports car. Just like the previous method, I draw it without any difference. Now, it's time for the angles you need to draw in 3D. It takes practice to understand better, but you need to know that you have to understand the concept of perspective. The concept of perspective itself has a separate category, and is a bit time-consuming to learn, but I will give a brief explanation of it. In the simplest definition we can say, perspective is your view of the object. And always, in order to be able to design something better, you have to describe it to yourself in a simple way. That is, if you want to draw a car at the angle you see in the animation, divide it into the simplest geometric shapes. The simplest drawing for this car is that this car consists of a rectangle and a trapezoid. That way you are almost halfway there. When you divide the car into geometric shapes, the design will be much more precise and easier for you. And you will only need to draw the details, and need a little practice. 3D angles, we divide the car into 3 parts, 1, 2 and 3. There are different types of cars, but usually the front wheel of the car is always in part number 1. Part 2 includes the car door and cabin, and at the end part 3, which consists of the rear wheels and trunk. This method is different for drawing a hatchback or other types, which I will teach in the following sections. To draw the original shape, the corners of the front side of the rectangle are attached to the lights. That is, the front of the car comes out of this rectangle, and is not inside it. Of course, you can also draw it inside the rectangle, but this method that I draw, makes it a little easier for you. With a little exercise, you can draw the details of the car with very high precision, and quite accurately. I hope this tutorial is useful for you and you can learn something. In the next parts, I will explain how to draw more angles and more components. If you want, like and subscribe my channel. Love you and see you in next video.